internet friends, sit back, relax. I'm Ryan. I am a session and commercial player and all-around gear junkie, and this is my studio. Tonight we're checking out something that I have I've heard about for a while and just kind of been waiting for it to come to fruition, and that time is now. It is the Echophex EF-P5. This is a FET compressor. This is an 1176 compressor limiter, and not, a guitar pedal company that makes a FET compressor and just puts 1176 on there. Like, this is a real deal 1176 down to the buttons. Like, it's amazing. First thing I'm going to do here is I am going to run it down on a mix. I'm going to use it on guitar. I'm going to use it on bass. I'm going to use it on Rhodes. I'm going to use it in the mix bus here and there. I did not use it on drums because I used the Teletone Soulfly drums to program my drums, and they have an internal mixer and they don't do the multi-output thing. So I'm not doing that. And also, you don't want to sit here and watch me for 30 minutes, dialing in compression on a kick. Like, that's not good video. So check out this track and then come on back here and we will go through the EF-P5 all by its lonesome. Thanks for sticking around. If you, like me, are a gear nerd who spends way too much time in your dark studio rather than being outside with normal human beings, then this is the place for you. Please like, subscribe, comment below. I'm always interested in what you have to think, and even when I disagree with you. Tonight I'm using a Clydesdale guitar. It was Warhorse with the Righteous Sound pickups. I'm running into a Silktone amp. Silktone amp sounds like this. First thing here, like, if you want to just kind of dial in a nice clean compressor that's really just going to kind of level your stuff, what we do here is we are set our input relatively high, our output is set high, release is all the way up, attack is about midway, and high pass filters down. We need to bring up that mix quite a bit, and we're using the 4:1 ratio. For most instruments, you're going to be using a 4:1 ratio. It's just kind of the way it is. But with that on, I've seen some people use the 8:1 ratio. You can do that. And back to the 4. Now we are compressing some of the low notes. We bring up this HP filter, high pass filter. We can get some of those to not be compressed. Yeah, difference. One of the common attack and release settings that people, engineers like to use with this particular compressor is called the Dr. Pepper settings. I don't know why it's called that, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to put your attack at around 10 and your release around 2, and it should give you a really great sound. Also use this to get some really, really great dirt sounds. And the way you do that is on the back, there's a switch, a gain switch. We were in normal before, and we just bumped it up into boost, cranked the input. Now I'm going no attack, all release. This is a pretty common thing for engineers to do. I like to use a similar setting on my drum bus. And then, high pass filter will pull that back a little bit. Mix is whatever. And then we have 20-to-1 on the ratio. And it's going to be a very different sound than what we were doing before. Thing while we're in here, one of the things that like the old cats used to do is it was called like they would go all buttons, and like everybody from like the Beastie Boys to Led Zeppelin did it. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 2 of these, get them down at the same time, and that is gonna add some like even more dirt. You can do, pretty much any combination. there's also a time toggle. We have been running it in normal. We can run it in slow as well, like I've dialed in here. And this is going to give you just a really, really punchy compression. Things I love about compressors in general, and this one as well, is that, you know, it doesn't only level, it will add character as well. And that's pretty obvious here when we have a Rhodes going and, you know, basic sound without the compressor on. And what we're going to find is that compressor will bring out just a lot more character here. So you had, you know, not only sustain, because there's a ton of sustain that gets added to it, but also just like, I feel like the notes are a lot crisper and clearer than they were without the compressor on. Of course, this sounds really, really great on bass guitar. And I used it on that track. I had a mute on there, but I know not everybody likes mute, so I took it off. And I'm not going to use this, I'm not thinking as a guitarist in the way I'm using this. This has both balanced and unbalanced ins and outs. So instead of going into an unbalanced in and going out of an unbalanced out like you would with a guitar, or if you were going to use it as like a pedal per se, what I am doing is I am going into a Rupert Neve DI into a Manly Force, and then I have some Hitsville EQ on the box, and then there through here I am inputting this compressor. So here it is without it. Yeah, like the bottom end was kind of farting out, which is actually a sound I really like. But the bottom end was kind of farting out, and this just fixed that, no problem. The setting that I used on the track was actually, I had the gain set to boost. I had the time set to slow. Set the inputs and outs just kind of where I liked them. Release all the way up, attack back a little bit from where we had it, mix all the way up. High pass filter, and then I went on the 8-to-1 ratio. So you have it. That was just a brief look at the EchoFix EF-P5. This is the coolest thing that I've seen in a long time. I don't own an 1176, and I have kind of been in the market for an 1176, and they're incredibly expensive. And this might just hold me over for a while because it works, and you can use it in your studio. You can use it live. You can use it however you want. It's just a cool thing. You know, compression is not necessarily always sexy, but I feel like this makes it pretty sexy. So thanks, EchoFix, for sending this over for me to check out. And as always, thank you for the privilege of your time.